Welcome. Let's do a lovely flow for our immune system. As we've recently shifted the hour clock, we'll try to get in sync with the flow of our natural world and feel brighter and quench the thirst of our cells and systems. So actually, let's begin in a reclined position to allow some inversion a little bit for our brain health. So today you'll need a block and a strap and a blanket. So for our breath work, we're going to take a reclined position. So just take the blanket that you have and fold it to whatever height you'd like, just making sure that the folds are nice and flat and even, about 3/4 of the way up the mat. And as you do so, just inhale and exhale and transform your space into your yoga sanctuary. Wherever you are, use the breath to send out that intention to the space around you. And if we want to cushion the head, you can also place just a little something at the top of the mat. So to get there, we'll take our feet to the bottom of the mat. And on our way, let's spread the toes. So we really feel some opening across the space between the toes. Lift the toes off the mat. And then place the toe pads on the mat. And just feel that grip there. And then just flowing up the foot, feel all of the balls of the little and bigger toes. And then the four corners of your feet. And just noticing this engagement we have with our feet there, and then take your hands to the thighs. Use that way on down to the mat. We're going to lift up and just lengthen the spine. Inhale into the spine. Fresh, refreshing air into the spine, and then curl down, holding on to those thighs and engaging our abdominals along the way. Take the hands down, support yourself, and then the hands to the back of the skull. Let's make sure that the back of the shoulder blades are on the blanket, so they take that edge of the blanket, and then press down with those feet towards the bottom of the mat and feel that pressure of the skin on the spine, and see if you can bring the shoulder sockets up over the top of the blanket as you hold the back of your skull. Pressing through the feet, lengthen that skin along the back. Inhale, and then exhale and recline. And notice your shape in space here. Keep the knees bent to protect the low back. And we're lifting the heart, the sternum, the ribs, and allowing the shoulders to melt beneath us on the mat. Looking up at the sky, you can keep your arms in cactus or out into a full T position, fingertips to fingertips, feeling the width across the collarbones. So this is a nice passive inversion that allows flow of the oxygen to come connect the body and the mind and the heart and the mind and the thoughts. So inhale. Exhale. So now that you're settling in and you feel gravity, just encouraging that release of your back body, you can bring those knees together and the feet wide apart if that feels more comfortable for the low back. Another 3 rounds of breath, just witnessing what is happening with your breath. So use this as a little tour of the quality and the edges of the breath. And as you slip into that witness role inside the mind, close the eyes, go a little further inward. And then on your next 3 breaths, witness what the mind is doing, whether it's flurrying of thoughts or just floating around, whatever's happening in your mind and your thoughts. 3 rounds of breath to notice. And on that third round of breath, allow the exhale to release some of the gripping in the thoughts. And then the next round of breath to release some gripping in the mind, allowing the thoughts to take a path along a water stream and just float on by. Coming back to that water, thoughts of the softness and the flow of water into our cells as we breathe in and out. And now that therapeutic conscious breath, Ujjayi breath, so in through the nostrils, and if you can hear the breath, that's Ujjayi breath, so hear that in the back of the throat. And out through the nostrils. And you're breathing through the back of the throat, opening the back so it's coming out of the nostrils. Soothing sound in your ears, soothing your nervous system. Another round, Ujjayi breath. Beautiful. Now come back to witnessing your breath again. One round of breath, just witnessing the breath. And another round of breath, witnessing your mind, and maybe something has shifted already. And then coming back to the body and noticing any shifting that's happened in the body. In just these few moments of conscious practice together, inhale, exhale. If you can straighten the legs, that's great. If that's not good for your low back, that's okay. Just keep your legs bent. But let's take those arms and inhale them next to the ears and reach up above the crown of the head. Take the back of the hands to the floor. Take one hand on top of the other. And as you exhale, again, release. So we're going to lengthen as we inhale through those flexed feet. And as we exhale, release again through the back of the arms, the back of the legs, and allow the feet to flop out to the side. Just feel that increased sense of surrender that happens when we involve that extra release through the arms and the legs. And then flex the feet again, sweep the arms next to the body. Roll out to your side and take that blanket away. Move it on over to the side. And take yourself long on the mat, arms next to the sides, palms down, and feet flexed. So we're in a Tadasana, a mountain pose, but on the floor. See if you can engage the feet as if you were standing on a surface. So feeling the four corners of the feet, feeling the toes, just like we were pressing our feet into the floor. Just imagine that and notice the engagement that happens up the legs to the glutes. Tuck the low ribs towards the floor and the heart upward toward the sky. Our transverse abdominis engaged. Beautiful posture. As you exhale, start to pump the feet down towards the mat and up towards the head. And just keep pumping them. Easy breath. Kind of keeping that flow going of energy from our torso down the legs, down the back of the legs, the fascial connections from the low back all the way down to the heel. We'll just do a gentle pumping here. Maybe loosen the jaw along the way. Great. And then slow that down. Exhale completely. And then bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor. And let's take the feet together and the knees together. So kind of glue the thighs together and the knees and the feet. And then we're just going to gently rock our knees side to side. cradling, this sense of cradling the hips, so swaying side to side, releasing through the hips a little bit here. Feeling the gentle sway of your breath, the gentle sway of your knees. And then bringing that to stillness, take the feet apart again. Inhale the left knee towards the face. Give it a hug. Curl the spine in first towards, so that the knee comes towards the ribs. Inhale into the spine. Exhale. Let's feel that sacral bone at the base of the spine imprinting on the mat. So we're still getting that opening through the hip, but we've got a little more grounding through the spine. And let's circle that knee outward. You can take your hand to the back of the thigh if that's more comfortable. Encouraging that fluid sense in the joints. Quenching that thirst, and then back, change the direction of the circle. Notice the connections, witness all of the sensations. Take that hug towards your chest and take that knee towards the shoulder, towards the left shoulder. And just feel that release there, a little more opening. Very gentle. And then take that foot down to the floor, release that knee, inhale the other knee towards you, give it a hug. Inhale, curl in towards the chest, and then exhale, find that sacrum, that landmark on the mat. And allow gravity to bring that thigh towards the ribs with your exhale. And grab the back of the thigh, hug it in, and let's make some circles with that knee and the hip. So envisioning with your mind's eye the root of this rotation in that circular hip socket. So then change the direction and envision some oily, viscous liquid, just allowing some beautiful flexibility in that hip. So we're doing quite a bit of floor work today, just allowing some flow, evenness through mind and heart, brain, and the body. Exhale that. Oh, let's take that knee towards the armpit just for a moment. Further opening, different direction. Inhale. Feel that breath feeding the spine. Exhale the foot to the floor. Now, if you have a block nearby, you could take that and take it between the thighs. Squeeze the block so you keep those feet hip width apart and the knees hip width apart. So we're engaging those inner thighs, a nice strength to develop so that we have further ability to anchor into our center. Take the arms along the floor, and we're going to inhale through the spine again. Exhale, press the full length of your arms into the floor, press the palms, the fingertips, and feel the shoulders rolling away from the sternum. Let's build a tiny bridge. So we're going to take the navel towards the spine and lift the hips towards the ceiling. And then navel up towards the ceiling as we allow the arch in the low back. So curling in through, curling the pelvis up towards the sky, and then counter tilt. And each time you curl up, see if you can lift a little higher. Following your breath. Allowing the breath to visit each little intricacy of the spine along the way up. As you come down, allow the exhale to fully release and snake that spine down. And as you go on up, feel the pressure onto that block, bringing us into center. And build this bridge all the way up. One more time, let's lift into a full bridge. Pressing the arms into the floor and then clasping the fingers beneath the sacrum. Roll the shoulders together, blades together underneath you. Bring the sternum towards the chin. Press the arms into the floor. A nice full expression. Feeling our brain get more oxygen. The third eye is looking up at the sky, inviting in a sense of expansiveness into the mind. Getting a perspective bigger with each breath. And then release the hands and curl down. Now we'll take some core work, bringing the hips up towards bridge again. Grab the block with your hands and take the block between the hands, really up towards the sky, and press in with the hands. Roll the shoulders towards the floor, so we're engaging those bigger back muscles. And inhale that block above your head. And exhale it back up towards the sky and then back to those inner thighs. Squeeze, snake it down, release. So bring it up again. Really find that pressure through the arms and then reach for the block and then above the head. Full body engagement here, so we keep our connections flowing. And our spine is that conduit, and our breath. 2 more rounds here. Full inhale, pressing the feet into the floor. Full exhale as you find our lovely gravity to the earth. When you're ready and you finish that next round, just grab that block and place it to the side. And then we'll do one bridge without the block. So just take those arms down. We're just going to do another clasp with our hands underneath us and just feel that engagement as if you had the block between the thighs. Inhale, drink in that beautiful fresh air, and exhale, snake it back down again. So now find the framework of your torso on the mat and just notice that shape from the hips on up to the shoulders. So we've got a nice solid frame there. And we're going to keep that frame nice and steady as we take the abdominals and engage and keep that steadiness. And we're going to take some core work here. So a lot of floor work today. Let's lift the right foot off the floor and place it down on the mat, and then the left foot off the floor and place it down. So as you lift up, notice you're keeping that framework of the torso nice and steady. Feeling your breath support the movement. You can come up higher if you want. And then we'll do our puppet strings. Take the arms up into that hug as if you had the block between them, and connect your wrist with the corresponding knee. And as you start to activate the limbs, you're going to notice perhaps some little wobbly maybe in that shape of your framework of the torso. So if that starts to happen and you get the integrity off of that shape, you can bring everything a little bit lower, a little bit softer. So adjust. Really take full breaths here so you can keep those muscles quenched with the energy they need, getting into a deeper energy source to support your movement. And when you're ready, exhale it all down to the floor, just sigh it out. And then bring the knees together, the feet a little wider apart. Slide that right knee towards the left foot, taking our windshield wipers in the legs. And let's really cleanse up the entire spine. Take the thumbs to the elbow creases and the forearms above you towards the sky, shoulder level, and elbows side to side away from the knees. Looking side to side away from the elbows. Winding up the spine, we take the eyes and follow the elbows. So head away from the elbows, eyes towards the elbows. Use your breath as you look to the side to really cleansing exhale, flushing out anything we don't need. And then come on back, look up at the sky, release the arms, roll onto your left side. Take your left arm underneath the ear, just support that. So we're kind of a reclined Buddha here. And feel the feet flexed. So we're aligning the back of the skull with the sacrum. So again, we're kind of doing a mountain pose, but this time on the side. We're going to bend the right knee so that we're taking that leg at a right angle, exhaling the tailbone down towards the bottom of the mat. Really feel that engagement across the front of the body. So we're taking a quad stretch, even if we're just bending like this, or we can reach our right hand towards the right heel and see if you can balance on your side here. Again, more core engagement. Exhale back to our mountain pose. Take the right hand in front of the chest, hold steady there as we lift that right leg up towards the sky and then down, feet together. Gluing the feet together. Connecting those inner thighs, you know, that block between the inner thighs. Feel that magnetizing as we lift. And down. Excellent. And let's come down, bring those knees together. So we're going to take our knees and bend them so that they're in front of us as if we're going to take a twist. But we're not going to take a twist. Just bring the thighs down and 90 degrees to the body. And now we're going to ease ourselves up to a side sit. And we're going to take that left knee right here and the right knee to the side. So we're just going to be very briefly here in a side sit. If you want to take that right knee out or anything is uncomfortable, make yourself comfortable. We're just going to briefly lift the spine up towards the sky. And as we exhale, take the fingertips to the floor and trace a line, circle over towards the top of the mat, over the left thigh. And we're taking a nice hip stretch here as we take the hands to the floor, pull the hands towards the body, feel the lift of the spine as we crease over the left hip and ease down over the hip. Come down to the forearms or just rest the forehead on the hands, whatever angle works for you. But I want you on the inhale to feed the spine with that breath and that length. And on the exhale, see if you can surrender to your comfort level. And if you want to straighten your right leg towards the back of the mat, we can lengthen out on the right side. Or you can keep the knee bent. So we're finding our comfort here, just communicating to that left hip as if there was just waves of soft liquid, softening the hip. Deepen the breath. And then ease yourself back on up. Nice. And we're going to go on to the other side. So we're going to find ourselves on our right side and recline Buddha here, easing that ear onto the right arm. Take the left hand to the floor and just find that length, back of skull to sacrum. Inhale, find the height. Exhale, bend the left knee. And pointing that tailbone towards the base of the mat, you'll find that lengthening across the front of the body. You can reach your fingertips towards that left heel or just keep your right angle. And then come on back, thighs together, feet together, and take that balancing hand in front of you as you lift that leg up towards the sky, bring it back as if there were magnets, holding the inner thighs together, pulling them back. Just getting some nice stabilizing muscles built up. Bringing the legs together, let's bend the knees, right angle in front of the body, and then ease ourselves up towards seated using the hands. And we're just going to scoot on over so we get a side sit with the right leg in front, left leg to the side briefly here, lengthening the spine up towards the sky, and then taking the fingertips, rooting through down into a circle across to the other side, to the right side. Taking the hands to the floor, pull back with your hands on the mat. Feel that lift through the spine, lengthen, follow your heart down towards the floor. Exhale. Finding ourselves to Sphinx arms, maybe, or just continuing that breath, that lengthening on the inhale and the surrender on the exhale. Perhaps straightening out your left leg, heel towards the back of the mat. We're just adapting our pigeon pose here, so we're getting that same therapy for the hip without too much pressure on the leg or the knee. See what the body's releasing. Maybe you can even release the jaw a little bit here. Maybe the third eye. If you have the left knee straighten, bend it. Ease yourself back up to seated. And we're going to bring our seat to the floor. So we're just going to take the feet again to the base of the mat. Take the hands behind you. So what we're doing is keeping a nice tall spine. So take the palms to the floor, fingers towards the glutes. Elbows behind you. So take those feet, really spread the toes, and then find your full length of the feet. So you're supporting yourself through the feet, on up the legs. And we're just going to lift the heart upward towards that diagonal direction, shining it upwards, broadening across the collarbones, bending the elbows behind you, and lifting up, lengthening the spine. And you can lean back to whatever diagonal works for you. So we're just going to feed the spine. Inhale, feed the spine. Exhale. Let's bend the right elbow and lean over the right shoulder. So we're leaning over. If you have any confusion, just look up here. And then elevating back up on the inhale. Exhale, bend the left elbow, lean over the left shoulder. Come on back up and over the other side. And one more time. Excellent. And now bring the hands to the back of the thighs. So hold the back of the thighs, hold that spine nice and tall. Let's see if we can really find that angle of the spine that's comfortable, where you can feel the low ribs engage, they press in, And you can feel the heart tall. So find that balance point on your sits bones, keeping a nice healthy curve in the low back. You don't want to be curling in. You want to lift up into a nice long spine and feel that we're getting that ab engagement here just in the balance point and finding the beautiful balance point on our sits bones. Anytime there's a strain, just soften up a bit. But in that stillness of the balance point, feel everything engage into the center. And take whatever core work you like to take here in this adapted boat pose, but we're just kind of taking it soft today. Exhale, great. And now we're going to take ourselves towards a seated position just for some neck work. Very important. Take the seat, whatever you want on your cushion or your blanket, cross-legged or kneeling. Take the fingertips to the side on the mat. Feel the roots pressing here into our symmetrical pose with the fingers down, spine lifting through the crown of the head. Feel the freedom of the spine and exhale the shoulders away from the ears. And then turn the head over to the right. Through center, nice horizon line over to the left. Coming back to center, take the thumbs forward and the fingertips back. Look up at the sky. Exhale, chin towards the heart. So drop the chin, drop the effort of holding the head up, but keep that heart tall as if there's a supportive hand behind your heart. Trace the chin towards the right shoulder, along the collarbone, pressing through the left fingertips. And then trace that line back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, trace the chin over towards the left shoulder, pressing through the right fingertips. So we're just clearing the channels there along those neck muscles, lengthening and coming back to center. Hold here, inhale, exhale, release the back of the neck. And then look on up to the sky one more time just to balance things out. Find a neutral gaze. Look, the eyes go side to side, just the eyes. And then back to our neutral gaze. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, left ear towards the sky. Exhale, right ear down towards the shoulder. Feel that pressing of the left fingertips, how that helps lengthen the side of the neck. Right hand to right ear. Let's lift that up. Left ear to left shoulder. Press through the right fingertips. Telling you can't get enough of this one. I can't get enough of it, but one probably couldn't even do this too much. It's so good for the neck and our lymph system. Inhale, right ear towards the sky. Exhale, left ear down towards the shoulder. Just use the breath to make subtle movements. And then take that left hand, help that head up. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Feel the length here through the side waist. Exhale, we're going to bring that left hand behind us. So bend the left elbow, and you're going to touch the mid-back with your back of your hand, and then bend the right elbow, and hand comes towards the back of the neck on the right side. Cow face pose. So press the hands so that you feel the pressure on the back body, and opening up here, just opening the heart, feeling that support into the back of the heart. Breathe into the back of your hand back there. And exhale. And then sweep over to the other side. So arms up, we do the opposite. Right arm behind, left arm bends down, left hand to the back of the neck. Clear the channel here with your breath. And then sweep open. Sweep the hands behind you, clasp the fingers. Inhale. Beautiful. And then sweep forward. Hands to the floor. Inhale, just centering here. And an exhale. We're going to go up towards a standing sequence coming. We will come back to the floor for more work. But let's transition here towards a down dog. And an all four, starting in tabletop. So finding the full handprint on the floor, all of those finger pads and the joints with those fingers pressing into the floor. Curl the toes under. Come on up to a bent knee down dog. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, find your grounding on the floor. Find that connection between the feet and the inner thighs, just like we did when we squeezed the block. And pedal your feet towards the floor. Pedal the heels down. Getting that communication through the back of the leg, from the lower back to the back of the leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release to the floor all of our foundationals, the hands and the feet. Release the neck. And then walk the feet. Find some stillness in your feet and walk the hands towards the feet. Find hip width apart. Hang the head down. So keep the knees bent, ribs to thighs. Just hang the head down. Release. Get some traction in that neck through the weight of the head. And shake the head yes, and then no. Take your fingertips to the floor. Pull back with your fingertips towards the feet, and you'll come up into a flat back. So we're going gradually up. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release the arms behind you, and then sweep them up to the ears, and then come on up off the thighs. You got that block imaginary between the thighs, really waking up the channel of strength. And slowly straighten the legs. So we're going to go slowly up since we've been on the floor quite a while. Up to mountain. And from here, from mountain, we'll do a nice gentle pose. I'm going to show you this way. Just take the right hand. We're going to gradually twist. So take the right hand to the right shoulder. Yes. And the back of the left hand to the back. And just twist over towards that the right hand to the left shoulder. Geez, okay. Let's start over. Take the right hand to the left shoulder. Take the left hand to the back and over towards the right hip. And then twist. Keeping your base on the legs and the hips. Just twist, look over to the left. Let's switch it to the other side. Left hand, right shoulder. Right hand, left hip. And twist. And you can gently press back on that left shoulder with the right hand or vice versa, kind of encouraging that opening across the shoulder. Come back and repeat. And now, as you repeat it, begin to separate the feet and just ease through your knees and start to sweep this into more of our Tai Chi twist. So increase the pace as you go. Soften the knees. Looking left, looking right. And then eventually it will be tapping those points, the shoulder and the back body. And sweeping the arms. So feeling ourselves just swirling around on that axis. Tetherball makes me think of that sweeping rope of tetherball around the center axis. The pole. And then slow this down. Look good. Sweep that energy around. Let's take ourselves definitely down to the base of the mat. So we're going to do some stepping, and you might want to have a block just at the top of the mat, just for some balancing, or a chair or something. It's not too hard of a balancing, but just in case, give yourself that support, or a wall. Come to the base of the mat. Great. Now we're going to take our arms forward. Inhale. So we're just presentation arms forward. Take the back of the hands together. We're going to part the C's as we walk forward. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, part the C's, step forward with the right foot. And then we're going to balance on the right foot. Find that tower, build it nice and strong, engage the quads and the glutes, bend the left knee. So we're coming towards an adapted dancer pose. So reach the right arm next to right ear and lift that left heel towards the left fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean forward. You can go into full dancer pose if you want to grab that foot, keeping your gaze steady, steady. Softening, making sure we don't lock that right knee. Great. Inhale, back on up. Release that foot to the ground. And we're going to just brief mountain pose breath here. And then lift that left knee up, balance it in front of you, find the hips nice and even. So we're taking the hands to the hips, just finding that even hips. And then walk your left foot forward, taking another step towards the block if you have that. Keeping the hands on the hips. So take that right foot back and angle it at about 45 degrees. So feel that angle of your foot, but then guide that right hip forward with your hands. Yes. So we're going to take our left hand at the top of the left thigh, reach the right arm towards the sky next to the ear, and then hinging at that left hip, really step strong through your feet, magnetize them together as you lean forward. Take the angle that's comfortable for you here. So we're keeping our core engaged and just hinging at that hip. Again, if those forward bends are hard for you, just come up, don't go down as far. Taking the right hand to the heart and keeping that left hand steady on the left hip. Let's just turn our heart towards the left. So a gentle twist in the upper spine, keeping the hip steady. And look over to the left. And exhale back. And then take the hands to the hips. Bend the left knee and step forward. Excellent. Turn around. If you probably won't need the block, but I always like to have one for extra steadiness. So put it at that other part of the mat. And we're going to take that same walk, but in the other direction. Let's inhale, the arms in front of us. Lengthen the spine. Back of the hands together. Exhale, part the C's. Step forward with the left foot. Balance on that left leg and bend the right knee. Inhale, left arm next to left ear, reaching back for that heel or the foot, dancer pose. Solid core, solid gaze. Lean forward. Inhale brings us back up for a release. Brief mountain pose for centering. Lift the left knee up into that right angle. Hands on the hips, steady the hips. Inhale, exhale, step forward with the right foot. Confident step there. Angle your left foot so we're kind of in a warrior one angle. Guide that left hip forward. Taking the right hand to that hip crease with the right thigh. Inhale, the left arm next to left ear. So we're lengthening that left side. Magnetize the feet together and bend forward at the hip. So feel that length on the left side. Take the left hand to your heart. Really anchor that hand onto the right thigh and turn your heart towards the right. And make sure that curl, that coiling up comes through the gaze and the head. And then come on back to center, bend the front knee, and then step on up. Excellent. Turn around, and then we're going to take ourselves diving down to the mat. So nice and easy. Sweep the arms up, and then swan dive down, keeping an imaginary block between the thighs. Take the hands down to the mat, bend the knees, walk forward into a down dog. Find the down dog. Expression here, you can slide forward into a plank if you really want to add some core work to your practice, or just feel that opening across the hamstrings. In down dog. And when you're comfortable, bring the knees down and take our knee plank. Lengthen the spine, and we're going to bring those elbows towards the ribs as we guide the heart down towards the floor. Gonna push up. There we go. Or push down. Guide yourself back so that we're in a prep for cobra pose. Forehead on the floor. So when we're down here on the floor, we're just going to roll the head side to side, massage the third eye. And then bring the hands next to the shoulders. And just sway the hips side to side, just so we know what that's like to loosen those up and then engage them. Tailbone pointing towards the heels, tops of the feet on the mat. Feel that strengthening. Pull back with your hands, elbows to the ribs, into the baby cobra. And down. Feed the back of the lungs as you inhale and rise up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Take the length of your arms next to the ears. Left arm lifts, right leg lifts. And right arm lifts, left leg lifts. And head. Feel the diagonal, that beautiful angle between the left arm and the right leg, and the right arm and the left leg. Reach for that length and exhale down. And then lift up into superhero, lengthening the back of the neck. Hold. And release. And then, since we're quenching the thirst of our muscles and cells, let's swim a little bit. So lift on up and swim to your favorite island. Paddle the arms and the legs, feeding it with breath. And then release. One ear to the mat. A relaxing breath. And when you're ready to roll onto your back, grab a strap along the way. You are? Great. Find your comfortable frame on the mat. Inhale the right knee towards the face. And let's get that ball the right foot on the strap. Bring that leg up towards the sky. Oh, feels so good. Nice hamstring. Again, increasing the flow from the heel, back of the leg up to the low back. Bend and straighten. And then slide, let's anchor through the right hip and slide the right heel towards the left hip. And bend and straighten. And then bring it back to center. And we'll take that leg over towards the right. And you can open that left hip out, left knee out to this side if you want to take the side of the foot. It's just a anchoring for ballast as we sail through the movements here. Complete exhale. Bringing the left foot back on up and the knee. Slide that right foot, just paint a rainbow with that foot. All the way over to the other side as we bridge up and go onto our left side. Right foot comes down. Hold on to the strap with the left hand. Bend the left knee so that we're giving ourselves a right angle there. Right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Open the heart up to the sky and the arm opens up. So we feel that back of our mid and upper back release behind us. Press through the left elbow, lift the sternum up and release again. Exhale. If you want to find your left foot with your right hand, you can get a little bonus quad stretch. Pressing that ball of the right foot, engaging there on the strap so we get that hamstring lengthening on the right. And then release the foot, sweep it on back, hold on to the strap, bring the leg on high there again. Bend the knee and release. Whew. Change the energy there. And move props aside. Hug the left knee towards the chest and lasso that ball of the left foot. Reach on up towards the sky. Bend and straighten. Notice that connection to the low back as we send that attention to our hamstrings. Sliding that left foot towards the right hip, anchor through the left hip. You can bend and straighten here too. And then slide this leg out to the left side. Right knee out for balance. Use that active pressure on the strap to lengthen that left leg. And release a little more in the hip. And then paint that rainbow with your left foot. Cross to the other side. Bridge up so that the left foot's coming down and we're on our right side. Hip points are nice and even. Bend the right knee into that right angle and take the left hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, and open up to the sky. Inhale and press the right elbow into the floor, lift the sternum up and exhale. And if you want to grab the right foot with your left hand, you can do that. Keeping that engagement with your left foot on the strap. Our lovely props. When you're ready to release that, bring that leg back up. Bend the knee and release. And then take that luxury of the legs straight on the mat so you could really feel the difference. Take the feet, flex them, and then flop them out to the side. The energy in the legs should be buzzing, feel more connected to the full picture. And then take the arms out to the side, palms to the sky. Press the elbows into the floor and the sternum lifts up. We can press the shoulder blades together. Exhale ourselves into giving into gravity. Close the eyes again. Coming back to third eye. Sending cascades of breath throughout the body, healing any points of holding, gripping, tension. So you allow the breath to sweep from the crown of the head down the body all the way to the toes, washing away any debris that we do not need. Bringing in to our deepest energy source anything that we do need through our inhale. And another cleansing sweep through our exhale. One full breath for the whole body. Full breath for the mind. Full breath for the spirit. And a full breath to bring them all together. Lengthen the exhale. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Roll the head side to side. Bend the elbows and the knees and ease yourself onto the side, coming on up slowly to a seated position. I hope feeling refreshed and renewed. Hands at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.